Let me tell you a little unknown secret. Your car is not cool. That BMW E46 touring with a 2-liter diesel engine is not cool. But you want to know what has these? This list. Today, we're looking at 10 cool-ass friggin' cars you can actually buy with your own money, starting off with the Toyota Supra. Is a legendary car that is loved by many and hated by most. And now, you can actually afford one. The other one, the big brother of the modern Supras, and the turning point for the Celica Supra relationship happened right here, and we can thank it for being the beginning of something far greater than itself, just like my daddy. Now, you don't have to fork up 6 figures for a 90s sports car. You only have to get 4 most of the time, because these, albeit quite rare, can be found for just under 10K. And I understand that is an absurd, absolutely mind-boggling amount of money for a shitbox. But if you get one, fix it up, it will hold its value, for it is more than 30 years old now. While hunting for your brand new Supra, try searching for the 3-liter 7M or, if you're really lucky, get the 7M GTI engines. Those have the most power, and those are the cool engines. And its design, while maybe a bit, maybe a bit compared to the second generation, I really like it. And it still looks super sleek and futuristic. It almost looks like it can talk to you. That's how cool it is. Get ready for it to be more of a project car, more than a driving car. But hey, you get to flex on all the 12-year-olds. You have a Supra. The other one.
Excuse me, can I please talk to you for a minute?
Have you ever wanted to be just like me? A big bad mafia boss. Now you actually can. The late 90s and early 2000s brought us probably the coolest big luxury sedans like the BMW E38 and the Audi D2. And in the middle of this rivalry was this, the Mercedes W220. Well, not having the praise that the W140 had, and coming out in kind of an odd time, it is, in my opinion, probably the best looking one. The tail is especially beautiful because it looks more like a coupe than any of these coupe SUVs. Of course, when buying one, you have to keep in mind these do not have the greatest reputation. Ugly, cheap, and unreliable. But for something that costs just under 9 grand, this luxury sedan is amazing. You can always go for the smaller engines, but this is the mafia car. And you can actually afford it. When
I was like, whoa, you like gay people, you gay boy? And I was like, yes.
The Takahashi brothers with their sick-ass rotary RX7s, especially the cool, chill guy that is Ryosuke Takahashi with his FCRX7, was actually inspired by this, the 924. When Mazda was designing their second generation Mazda RX7, they took an extreme inspiration from the 924, and they weren't even hiding it. But why? Why would a car brand copy another car brand so heavily? Well, without the 924 Porsche, we would have never gotten any of the modern day Porsches. No Boxster, no GT3 RSs, no nothing. You see, Porsche has a trend of almost going underwater and then saving itself with something genius. Like the 924. Purists hate the car because it's not a rear engine, nor is it air cooled. But buyers loved it because they could actually afford it at the time, and now you can also afford it, unlike a Porsche 911. Some of these are ludicrously expensive, especially the 944s, but some are even available for 5K. If you're ready to get real greasy and work hard on the engine bay with all your smart tools and your big brain. But if you want to, just have a car, then expect to pay around 8,000.
Du meine Arbeit für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe.
The Golf Dynasty actually starts with a funny man with a funny mustache. And this, the Volkswagen Beetle. The little bug was a great car for the people, Volkswagen, people, wagon. But in 1974, it came time to replace the old bug with something fresh, and it did, the Volkswagen Golf Mark I. And it was a success, people loved it, just like me. And the sporty version, called the Golf GTI, was the birth of the hot hatch. While not fast by today's standards, it had a short wheelbase and nimble handling, which made it a great little car. But this also had to come to an end to make way for a new generation, for the newer people. And they did. The Mark II, which had to fill huge shoes that the Mark I made. And it delivered. You could get your very own GTI with a 1.8 single overhead cam engine, and later even dual overhead cam, and 16 valves. Ooh. This little historical pocket rocket can actually be owned by you right now. If you want an extremely good example, expect to pay around 8,000, but if you're really okay with something that is just okay, you can easily find cheaper drivable options. We talked about big luxury sedans before, and now we're talking about another one, the BMW E38 7 Series with a manual. I mean, I love the BMW E38. My family owned one ages ago when I was a wee little lad. I love that thing, and you should love it too. The BMW E38 is a great platform, and you could actually get this big sedan with a manual, which is wild. It is the Swiss Army knife for the younger generation. It is the baddest and raddest winter beater you do not want to beat on. Manual transmission, rear wheel drive, comfy seats, a phone, hello, seats, and a big ass boot. And it was available with 1 million different engines, and you could own one for 7K for a pretty decent example. We here at #BookTheHQ love the 5th gen Honda Prelude, and you should too. Two-door sports car with an available 2.2 liter VTEC engine, 4 wheels. Yeah, of course it has 4 wheels, and 4 wheel steering and front wheel drive. Don't click off just yet. Just because it has front wheel drive does not make it a bad car. And trust me, I'm a professional, and this thing is great. It looks great, it feels even better, it's so much fun, especially trying to hit VTEC all of the time. And for what it's worth, it's an amazing car for literally any young buck who wants to stand out in a crowd. And you can get your hands on your very own brilliant unknown gem for just 6K for a pretty good example.
Oh, 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 oh.
We mentioned the Celica previously on this list, and no wonder it's come up here again, because this thing really deserves all the love it can get. Just like the Prelude, being the 5th generation, this thing came in front-wheel drive exclusively, except maybe the GT4, but that doesn't really count. You can't afford that. I can't afford that. But unlike the Prelude, this thing has a rich racing history, specifically in rally, and its grandpappy gave birth to the Supra. So this is a big piece of history you can have in your driveway. It has a really nice design with pop-ups, and the thing just looks 90s, and the interior just points at you because you are the big Chad driving this thing around town, and it can be yours for just over 5,000 euros with all of its legendary heritage. Up here in the never snow, but sometimes if you get really lucky, winter has 3 days of snow, country of Latvia. If you want to have fun during the winter, you really have one choice: a BMW. Most, if not all, BMWs that are here have been through abuse, neglect, more than any white woman with a black boy. And the Lexus IS200 is like the white monster of small rear-wheel drive sedans for an affordable price. It has a teeny tiny 2-liter 6-pot that makes it extremely unique, but also it can be hard to find engine parts to modify it, but it makes a great daily little pizzazz. I like these things, and you should too. If you have that BMW E46, then you're missing out on something that is way cooler than any E46 driving around town, because you can get a good one for around 4K, just like any other BMW from the same time frame. So you get a cooler, more rad car with more care because it's Lexus, more interesting, cooler looking. And if you would buy a BMW, it would just be a BMW. Nobody cares about your BMW. Nobody cares about your BMW. So, we have already demolished the average Baltic young adult male choice of car, and we're here to do the same with their daddy. The BMW E34 is a not so special car. So for me, just like the E38, I have a special connection with it, but we're not here to glaze it. We're here to talk about the Nordic daddy mobile, the Volvo 740. Made in the same time frame as the E34, it was a rear-wheel drive saloon or wagon, but much safer than anything BMW has ever made. You know, it's the sensible choice for the sensible dad that wants to drive the kids to school and then have fun with the wife. It was the smaller brother to the 760, and that means smaller engines, nothing bigger than 2.4 liters. I mean, I live for just how understated and unassuming this car actually is. If you're not paying attention, you might just think an old man is driving this thing. And it can smell like your local chip shop, but this thing will survive anything you throw at it. It will outlive you, it will outlive your children, and it will outlive the world. And you can have it for 4K or even cheaper. But you know, as these things get picked up by the smart enthusiasts, they're a dying breed. So get one while you still can. The most old person mobile on this list, and I promise it's cooler than anything that your friends have. This thing oozes personality. It is not the fastest car on this list, but everybody will know you when you step out of this teacher wagon. This car has that steez that this list has promised you. You're not gonna look like a mafia boss or a boy racer, but you're going to be that type of guy that just knows what smelling the cork means on a wine bottle. It's sophisticated. The Saab 93 Coupe. It is the type of car you take that nerdy girl from school that is kind of cute out to dinner. Everybody loves a Saab, even if they say they don't. You can go to the BMW guys and they'll say, oh, BMW is great, but deep down, you know that they love a Saab. This thing is not fast, as I previously mentioned. Most likely, you'll find one with 2.3 liters or even 2. It's not speed what you're looking for when you drive this. You drive something with class, something that elevates your status and mind. And you can find pretty good ones for just 2,000 euros. Anything less than that for any car is pretty rough, because this is a cool car that you can actually afford.
Thank you guys for watching #Bookte. Click here if you want to check out other videos we've made. Click here if you want to check out our channel. Drive safe, don't be stupid, and see you next time.